Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. It's Lycan Warlord. The Stash. Hello, everybody. Competition's almost over. I switched from decorated cakes to seaweed. Just seaweed. I didn't do ice. Let's take a look, shall we? Realistically, where my buildings are is a mess, obviously. But I could probably use, 4 or 5 more seaweed workers, which would up my seaweed a little bit higher. Regardless of which, seaweed was not, viable, let's say, for long-term usage. But it has kept me from falling in the rankings. Decorated cakes was not enough. Right now, I'm 774. I was in the 760s earlier, and then it locked up, and I lost some rankings. But what's important to note is I'm making 25, almost 26,000 seaweed an hour. I'm gonna let this thing keep running because I am curious to see what it's actually gonna get to. But if seaweed is ever the meta, this will be the layout to go. Now, really and truly, the only reason this is even viable is the freight pier, which holds 100 of whatever item, sells in 20 seconds and only takes 1 gasoline. That's not normal. Normally, freight pier takes way more gasoline and it's slower. So because of that, you're able to sell at 100 at a super rapid pace. Unless you had a bunch of dragons, realistically, this build would never ever really work. That being said, it's as simple as seaweed farmer houses and seaweed. Now, the seaweed timer without saltiness is actually really fast. So if we go to, let's say, this seaweed farm, it's like supposed to be 40 seconds, and then, with the speed buffs from the ornaments or whatever, that's still not bad. If I was going to redo this, I would want to take advantage of this full saltiness edge, so that these seaweed timers would be 4 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever they end up being, which is really fast. I would probably move all of this. I would take this gas production, put it over here in this corner, and then take all my buildings and stretch them out this way. Maybe make like an L shape over there, and then have the seaweed here and over here. Now, there is pollution and dirtiness, all right here, and seaweed does not care. Seaweed's like that one thing that just grows wherever. So that's really nice. You can build crap around it and not have to care, right? So I've got these 2 refineries doing gasoline, and then these 2 refineries doing petroleum. Obviously, if you had an oil seep, you could basically achieve the same thing. But I'm making gasoline quick enough to make these sales, and then the dragon also works to catch any overages that I have. So again, not really a viable build in any way, shape, or form, but I did want to share what I did. This maize gives saltiness. When you have all 4 of them down, it actually makes 4 saltiness. So if you look right here, 4 salty, 4 salty, 4 salty, 4 salty. So basically there's 4 saltiness everywhere instead of just being, I think it's normally 2. So if we come here, there's no saltiness, and then here there is. So basically all of these are getting the max speed buff, which is why I'm able to make so much seaweed, because again, I'm not using the salty edge over here. But putting the silos where they can get to them is important, so they're not walking as far. I could maybe move these 2 guys back in here somewhere and just have silos. I mean, I played with it. I tried my best, but also didn't, go crazy with the layout plan. A lot of people that did seaweed were basically doing seaweed and something else. They were doing seaweed and ice, or they were doing shrimp. That was really where this kind of came from. Shout out to Camrar in MAF. He had shared with me his what he was going to do, which was seaweed and shrimp. But people that were doing shrimp, they're able to get much higher, but shrimp sells for more points. But they have the seaweed stand, so it's passively providing the shrimp with the seaweed they need. So I didn't bother with the shrimp, just because I figured it wasn't worth the effort, But yeah, that's pretty much it. They only need 2 water, and without saltiness, they're still really fast timers. Realistic. I mean, 40 seconds before the speed buffs. That's nothing. So, yeah, it's an interesting little layout. I had fun making this on stream earlier, and wanted to record it so I could share it with you guys. We'll go ahead and do the glamour shots. We'll go ahead and minimize this. We'll get this nice and big. So I had one freight pier and then realized that wasn't enough selling. So I put the second one in, increased my gas production because I noticed I was running out of gas because of how fast I was selling. And yeah, again, where all the seaweed farmer buildings are, this is a mess. I just kind of cobbled this together. There's clearly 3 or 4 spots I could easily salvage out of this, doing it more appropriately. But again, in the heat of the moment, trying to hurry and get this done, I just didn't want to fall out of top 1200. And my decorated cakes video, which I just shared earlier, you can tell it wasn't great. It was good, it wasn't great. But either way, we've got a seaweed build now. We got a decorated cakes build. So add it to the list. If we ever need it, we got it now. So, but yeah, the saltiness from this, realistically, what I would say is like this is 1 saltiness. So let's see how fast that is. So it needs 2 saltiness preferably, but 1 works. So basically, if you had this whole row of salt, that would be 32 that are in the fastest timer, which would still be really a lot of seaweed. So there we go. That's it. That's seaweed. Right now, it's saying I'm making 26,000 seaweed an hour. It's ridiculous amounts of seaweed. It reminds me of the silica days back in the day when we were doing silica builds. But much easier because you don't have to have the power plants everywhere and calculate 2 energy and stuff and have a bunch of forklifts running around everywhere. So very fun. Enjoyed doing it. It was just a nice, relaxing, just put a bunch of stuff on the map and feel like it went well. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll be in the top 800, it seems like, before this competition ends. So I'm happy with that. So there are other things in life to complain about, I assure you. That all being said, if you need me, Discord's the easiest way to get a hold of me. I got links to Discord down below, where our visualizer is, where the auto refresh script is. That's all in the Discord. Got links if you want to help support me. Regardless, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week for the competition. Don't know what the meta is yet, but as soon as I find out, I'll probably make a video about it. I'm liking Warlord. Oh, excuse me. I'm liking Warlord. The stash. Take care, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye. Ooh, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to shout out my Patreons from Patreon, and my new YouTube members as well. I got that going. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. Your help has been crucial to keeping me alive and keep streaming and keep helping and hopefully entertaining you along the way. Anything I can do to make it more worth your while, please let me know down below. Also, you can find me on my Discord. I have my Discord server link down below, Patreon links down below, and then membership should be somewhere around here. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to the future, and I hope you will come along for this journey with me. Thank you. Take care.